What's good, everybody? It's Jonah. Come back at you on another video. So this video, I want to explain to you guys. This video is going to be about like worthiness, and the title of the video is this: that you are in fact good enough, even if others tell you no. Now, the reason why I'm recording this video is because this effectively ties into worthiness, right? Because a lot of people don't believe that they are in fact worthy. What you need to remember is that you were worthy for it all since birth, because you being here, you existing, that is more than enough of a reason for you to deserve everything that life has to offer, right? In this lifetime, because we are creators, we have the power to be, do, or have anything that we want, anything that we could have asked for in this lifetime. That makes you good enough. And I want you to believe that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving, even if other people tell you no, right? Many of us, or pretty much everyone, has been told no many times in different areas of our life. And I say all this because I don't want you to get discouraged, right? It's not your job to persuade other people or to help convince people of your capabilities, of your talent and what you're worth, right? That's not your job, because what other people think about you is none of your business, right? And other people are going to have their opinions about you, and they're going to have their mind made up, whether fair or unfair, right? Like, other people will look at you and immediately judge you, and no matter how great of a person you are to them, they'll have their mind made up about you, right? Like, it happens. But I don't want that to discourage you. I don't want you hearing no's from other people make you believe that you are worth less, that your value is lesser, or that you're not worth anything, because that couldn't be further from the truth, right? You are good enough. I've been told no, and many of us, have gone through like the whole college process and all that. Many of us, or pretty much everyone that's gone through the process, right, have been rejected by schools. And there were schools that didn't see my value or my worth, that rejected me, and other schools that did, that cherished it and accepted me. And the places that I went to, of course, were the places that accepted me. But what you need to remember is that you want to go somewhere where you're celebrated, right? You don't want to be somewhere where you're just being tolerated, or where you're just wasting your time, right? Other people have been told no by many people when they're trying to date, right? When they're trying to find a partner. They've probably been rejected many times in their life. But rejection isn't necessarily a bad thing, because first and foremost, when someone rejects you and say no, then it could be because either you're just not a match, or that they just don't see the value in you, and that's not your responsibility, right? Because just because one person doesn't see the value in you doesn't mean other people won't either, right? Like, there's going to be someone out there, or people out there, that see what you do and see the greatness within you, right? And if, let's just say, you're in the dating scene and someone rejects you and says no, then it's still a good thing for you, because you saved time and they didn't waste your time. And what you need to remember is that time is the most valuable resource that you have access to, because once time is wasted, you can never get it back, right? So time is always going to be most important to you. And if someone rejects you or says no to you, then guess what? You didn't waste, like, nobody wasted their time. They didn't waste your time. You didn't waste your time, right? So it works out. And once again, you want to be somewhere where you are celebrated, not tolerated. You don't want to just be somewhere where no one wants to talk to you, no one wants to hang out with you or associate themselves with you, right? Like, you just don't want to be in that situation. So hearing no can in fact be a good thing, and it is working out in your favor, because if someone tells you no, then it just wasn't a match. But that doesn't necessarily mean it wasn't because you weren't good enough, right? You are good enough, you are worthy, you are deserving. And I don't think people get to hear that enough, and I don't think that people also accept that to be their reality, or accept that to be true, right? Because they think that people typically they undervalue themselves, and they typically overvalue other people. They typically think that other people are better than them, or are doing better than them, or, right, when in actuality, that's not necessarily the case, right? Because someone that can appear to be doing better than you in one avenue, it could be a facade, right? It could be like a social media facade, one, or even if they are doing better in one area, the other areas in their life may very well be falling apart behind the scenes, but they may not just be saying anything about it, right? Everyone is always dealing with something or going through something, right? So I just want you to put things into perspective and begin appreciating yourself, begin accepting and embracing who you are, right? Because there you have so many talents, you have so many gifts, and there's so much that you can in fact offer to the world, right? And there's been plenty of instances where people were told no so many times, and those people who decided to not let that get to them and to still keep pushing forward still end up breaking through and being successful despite all the opposition from other folks, right? And that's how you got to see it, and that's how you got to approach it. You have to be your number one supporter. You have to believe in yourself almost like a delusional level, right? Because you want, like, think about it, it's like we're only here for one lifetime, and you know, we obviously here, as far as we know, in this one lifetime that we're given, we have a finite amount of time, right? So wouldn't you want that finite amount of time to be as enjoyable, as fun, as memorable as possible? Like, wouldn't you want it to be filled with accomplishments and successes and celebrations, right? Like, wouldn't you want it to be as fulfilling as possible? I think everybody does, but oftentimes people don't accept their deservingness or worthiness, and so they allow their life to just end up going in whichever direction it goes, right? It can spiral downhill, and they'll just allow it to, right? And they don't need to. You are good enough. And if you might feel as though you're not in this case, right, then that just means it's time for you to work. It's time for you to improve yourself and to better yourself and invest in yourself. And because you want to develop confidence, you want to develop a belief in yourself, you want to develop accountability with yourself. If you say you're going to get things done, right, to actually end up getting these things done, right? You have so much that you can offer to the world, and if there are things that you don't know how to do, right, you can always learn. We are all capable of learning. It happens all the time. Like there's people who are more than enough qualified for jobs that they apply to, and even though the companies are hiring and they're in need of talent, of people, right? Someone can apply to a job that they read the job description and they're more than qualified for the role, and they'll still get denied for the role, and they won't even get an interview, right? Like that happens all the time, and it's not because you're not good enough. It simply could just be because the company didn't see the value in you, even if everything appears to line up on the surface. But at the end of the day, right, it's like if they said no, then it still works out for you, because then if they've taken you but they didn't actually really want you the entire time, then it's not necessarily desirable situation for you to be in, right? Where you're in a situation where you're tolerated, right? Same thing with relationships. I'm sure if someone wants to be in a relationship, they want to be in a relationship where both parties, right, you and your partner, both want to be in the relationship and both want to be with one another, rather than only one person wanting to be in a relationship and the other person just tolerating the situation, right? Like that's not ideal or desirable for anyone. So I want you to believe that you are good enough, that you are worthy, that you are deserving of it all, right? Doesn't matter how big your goals, your dreams are, and it doesn't matter how far away that North Star might seem compared to present reality or where you're at right now, right? You are good enough to get there. You just have to keep putting one foot in front of the other, keep showing up with the right attitude, keep on investing in yourself, growing, getting better each and every day, and you'll eventually make progress towards where you want to go and eventually arrive where you're headed. What you need to remember and believe is that divine timing is a real thing, right? The universe, everything in the universe is connected, because everything is energy. Everything, absolutely everything on this planet is made up of energy. And so everything is of the same essence. Everything is connected. Everything is one. That's why there can be some events that'll happen that'll appear to be coincidence or accidental, whatever it is, right? And people will just believe that it's absolute coincidence, when in reality, nothing is ever coincidence, because everything is connected, right? And so what appears to be coincidence It's in fact the creation of, like, your creation and the creation of the universe, right? So you need to understand that there's always a higher power working, that divine timing, that God's timing is always perfect. Things are always going to be working itself out, and you need to believe that things are working itself out, right? Even if it seems to be falling apart, it seems to be disaster, right? This disaster may very well be the catalyst that you need to help propel you forward to end up going to where it is that you wanted to go, right? Like, you just never know how things are going to work out. So you want to always have faith and belief, and you always want to have the right attitude. I want this video to remind you, of course, of your worthiness, because most people don't believe that they're worthy. Most people think that, they're not worthy because they're missing that education, that degree, that they're not worthy because they're missing the dollars, that they're not worthy because of this reason or because of that, right? Like, people are quick to find reasons as far as why they can't win or why they're not good enough, rather than taking time to think of all the reasons why they're good enough, to think about all the reasons why they're worthy, right? At the end of the day, there's a saying, is whether he can or he can't, either way, he's like, they're both right? It means that whatever you believe in, whether you can do something or whether you can't do something, regardless of whichever side you stand on, you are going to be right, because the universe is going to prove you right. So the question is whatever you believe what you want to be proven right? Do you want to be proven right that you're not good enough, right? Do you want that to be the truth? Do you want that to be proven right in your reality? Or do you want to be proven right that you are good enough, that you are capable? I like to think that you would prefer the latter, right? That you are good enough. And even if other people tell you no, it's not your job to convince them or to have them believe that you are great. You just want to do what you do. You just want to do what you enjoy, that makes you happy. You want to bring out the best version of yourself, and the people that gravitate towards that are going to be the people in your corner. There's no need for you to become someone you aren't to prove someone right. I would hear stories all the time of people, let's just say they're like, starting off like new business owners, right? And they're trying to obtain investment money from investors, right? Some people will bend backwards thinking that a specific person has to be the one to give them the investment money for their business in order to succeed. But it doesn't have to come from that person. It can come from any person, or it can come from other sources that they probably haven't thought of, right? But they have their mind made up thinking that this one person or this avenue has to be the way. And if they're told no, then that means they're just absolutely not good enough. There's been plenty of people who were told by teachers that they would never amount to anything, and then they ended up being successful as far as, building a business or financial success, or just becoming who they were meant to be, right? Like, plenty of people were doubted by other people. Plenty of people were told no. Plenty of people were told that they were not good enough, and still became great, still was able to achieve greatness and become exceptional in whatever industry they decided to pursue, right? So it is all possible. So this is what I'm saying, that like the truth boils down to you, and boils down to what you believe about yourself and how you feel about yourself and how you think about yourself. And you need to remember and believe that you are worthy and you are deserving of it all, and you've been that way since you were born, because it was already statistically improbable for you to even be born, right? It was a 1 in like 400, I think it was like 400 billion chance, or trillion, but a very, very small chance of you even being born into this lifetime, let alone being able to grow up to the point where you're at now watching this video, right? So the odds of that are pretty statistically improbable, virtually impossible for you to even be here. So you've already made it. That tells me that you've already made it. So you can achieve anything, right? You have a power up here, your mind, your imagination, that can create anything. So that means you can create things that other people can use. You can create things that will help shape the world. You have the power to help change the world the same way other people have done so in present moment and in the past, right? So what do you mean you're not good enough? You have creative power, which is divine power that you've always had access to since you were born, since birth. So to believe that you're not good enough is absolutely silly, right? You can be, do, or have anything in this lifetime, which makes it by law that you are in fact good enough, because you can have anything in this lifetime. So begin having more confidence in yourself. Operate with supreme confidence. Operate with a level of belief with anything that you do. Believe that whatever you touch turns to gold. Believe that you are the next big thing, or that you currently are the big thing, right? Because that is true, and that's the case for each and every one of us. It's just a matter of if that person decides to tap into their greatness or not. So I hope with this video you are inspired to tap into your own greatness, because you are in fact good enough. So that wraps up the video. Enjoy the video. To leave a like and subscribe as you're on the road to a million subscriber, guys. So once again, it's Joel, and I'm out. I'll see you guys for the next video.